She may not look like it, but she is one strong woman. Hello everyone. There's a special kind of strength in a Sigma female. She is self-sufficient, determined, and lives her life with a purpose that might not always be visible, even to herself. But beneath her independence and resilience, she shows qualities that might seem more masculine than she might think. These aren't the loud, typical traits of masculinity. They're quiet, often unnoticed actions that make her unique. Her approach to emotions, how she deals with conflicts, and her way of managing relationships reveal a strong and logical side that steps outside the usual feminine expectations. In a society that often pushes women towards certain roles, the Sigma female doesn't just push back, she reshapes them, sometimes without even realizing it. This isn't about being tough or proving a point. It's about living authentically, even if that authenticity is closer to what society labels as masculine. That's where her true strength lies, in being herself beyond the labels and just doing what suits her, even if it means entering areas usually filled by men. Let's dive in, everyone. I suggest you watch the whole video for a clearer understanding of this topic, and I'm eager to read your views in the comments. Number 1. She speaks her mind without hesitation. The Sigma female is refreshingly direct. She doesn't follow the common belief that women should soften their speech or avoid the truth. When she talks, her words are clear, straightforward, and free from any unnecessary extras. There's no hidden meaning in what she says. If she disagrees with something, she openly says it. And if an issue needs discussion, she brings it up without delay. This forthrightness might surprise people, especially in a society where women are often expected to be more diplomatic and careful not to upset anyone. However, the Sigma female isn't worried about keeping everyone comfortable. She places greater importance on being honest and clear rather than just being polite, even if it means upsetting some people along the way. She isn't trying to be harsh or blunt just for the sake of it. She believes in being efficient and respectful. She doesn't see the value in circling around a topic when a straight talk could prevent time waste and misunderstandings. Although this characteristic is often associated with masculinity, for the Sigma female, it's just the best way to communicate. She isn't interested in dressing up her words to fit into societal norms. She focuses on truth and straightforwardness because she understands that this leads to real progress and better understanding. By communicating clearly and simply, she stands her ground boldly and controls her own story. Number 2. Her true self changes, but not how you might think. For the Sigma female, her sense of identity can be challenging to pinpoint. She doesn't limit herself to one way of behaving or follow the typical roles society sets. One day, she might be bold, determined, and pushing past barriers with a clear goal. The next day, she might seek solitude, stepping back to rethink, recharge, and introspect. This changing behavior isn't due to confusion or inconsistency. It's about understanding what's needed in each moment and adapting accordingly. What truly sets her apart is that this flexibility isn't about blending in or acting a part. Unlike many who mold themselves to meet others' expectations, the Sigma female does the exact opposite. Her actions are not about fitting in, they are about accessing the part of herself that's most needed at that time, regardless of whether it's seen as masculine or feminine. In a society that often demands we stick to one path, her versatility breaks these constraints. She isn't confined to a single identity. Rather, she seamlessly combines strength and sensitivity, action and contemplation, without losing her essence. This versatility is more than just adaptability. It's a form of expertise. It's her skill in evolving, not to please everyone, but to be precisely what she needs to be at any given moment. That is her true power. Number 3, she can end relationships quickly. The Sigma female possesses a unique ability to leave behind people and relationships that no longer contribute to her growth or happiness. While many cling to relationships out of duty, emotional attachment, or fear of loneliness, she behaves differently. She recognizes that holding on to something unhelpful only drains her energy and prevents her from moving forward. When she understands that a relationship has reached its end, she promptly ends it. This firmness can be perceived as cold or harsh, especially since society often expects women to nurture and sustain relationships at all costs. However, for the Sigma female, it's about self-care and staying true to herself. She isn't interested in maintaining relationships out of guilt or societal pressure. Her priority is her own development, mental well-being, and personal progress. If someone is obstructing this through negativity, manipulation, or simply not sharing her values, she won't hesitate to distance herself. This ability to decisively cut ties is often seen more in men, who are typically viewed as more detached or less emotionally invested in relationships. But for the Sigma female, it's not about lacking emotion. It's about being purposeful with her time and energy. She understands that to keep evolving, she cannot be weighed down by unhelpful ties, and she's unafraid to let go when needed. We're grateful to have you as a loyal subscriber. Your support means a lot to us and motivates us to keep creating valuable content. We really appreciate your involvement and commitment. Number 4, she naturally leans towards action, not feelings. The Sigma female's natural response is to take action instead of getting caught up in her feelings. While many people might get wrapped up in their feelings, analyzing every reaction, she concentrates on finding solutions. It's not that she's unaware of her emotions, they simply don't lead her decision-making. When faced with a problem, her natural response is to move forward, making practical decisions that help her resolve the issue instead of getting bogged down by how she feels about it. This method may make her appear detached or overly rational to those who prioritize emotions, but for her, feelings come second to solving the problem at hand. She realizes that letting emotions cloud her judgment could slow her progress or create unnecessary problems. Instead, she opts for a strategic, results-focused approach. This characteristic is often viewed as more masculine, as men are generally expected to act decisively, while women are encouraged to express their emotions. However, the Sigma female breaks these stereotypes. Her focus on action over emotion isn't about ignoring her feelings, it's about knowing when to place her objectives above her emotional responses. By keeping her emotions in check and concentrating on the necessary actions, she keeps a clear head and maintains control in situations where others might struggle. This confident way of acting sets her apart, allowing her to handle challenges with focus and success. Number 5. Her presence is more confrontational than comforting. The Sigma female stands out because she doesn't fit the usual expectations of how women are supposed to be. Instead of giving off a warm, comforting feeling, she seems like she's ready to take on a challenge. When she enters a room, it feels like she's gearing up for a fight rather than ready to give a comforting hug. She shows a strong will and readiness in her approach to life, always set to tackle whatever comes her way. This doesn't mean she can't be caring or helpful when it's needed, but being nurturing isn't her first instinct. She's more inclined to encourage those around her to improve, become tougher, and depend on themselves more, instead of shielding them from the hardships of life. Her presence promotes growth through toughness and persistence, rather than offering comfort or care. In a world where women are often expected to be the caregivers, her assertive and almost warrior-like attitude can catch people off guard and may even be a bit unsettling. This kind of spirit is usually seen in men, but the Sigma female fully owns it. Her desire to compete isn't about pulling others down. It's about always striving to improve herself and pushing those around her to step up. She views life as a sequence of obstacles that need to be overcome, and her demeanor shows she's always ready to tackle them. While others might seek comfort or softness, she motivates and encourages through her actions, setting a dynamic that allows no room for laziness. Number 6. She views time as a helper, not a source of stress. The Sigma female sees time not as an opponent or something to hurry against. Society often pushes people, especially women, to stick to set schedules for their careers, personal relationships, or starting a family. However, she thinks about time differently. To her, time is a friend, a tool that assists her rather than obstructs her. She doesn't rush to match someone else's standards or walk a path laid out by others. Instead, she takes her time, realizing that real skill, success, and influence are developed slowly through consistent, quiet effort, not by quick, eye-catching achievements. She's patient, aware that the best things take time to achieve. Even if she's advancing her career, honing a skill, or deepening relationships, she is ready to spend the necessary time to achieve genuine depth and significance. This distinguishes her from many who feel the need to meet arbitrary deadlines or pursue quick satisfaction. Her method enables her to make choices with clear and deliberate thought, unburdened by the stress of competing with others. Instead of reacting hastily, she progresses at her own speed, confident that her patience will eventually be rewarded. Her long-term outlook isn't about being complacent or avoiding challenges. It's rooted in the confidence that what she's building is meant to endure. By regarding time as her ally, she focuses on true growth and enduring effects rather than fleeting successes. Number 7. Independence isn't just a quality she has, it defines who she is. For the Sigma female, being independent isn't just a characteristic, it's a fundamental part of who she is. Many expect women to look for companionship or seek others' approval, but she doesn't feel this urge. Her identity is strongly tied to her self-sufficiency. This isn't merely about her ability to manage on her own. It's about the joy and strength she gains from her self-reliance. Sometimes, even she is amazed at how little she needs others' praise. She enjoys following her interests and passions without needing anyone else's validation for her decisions. While some may think her independence makes her lonely, she finds it liberating. It gives her the freedom to experience life in her own way, free from what others might expect of her. Many people question why a woman would opt for such a strong sense of independence. The reason is her belief that real happiness comes from within herself, not from other people's approval. She finds joy in being alone, which she uses as a chance to grow and learn more about herself. This doesn't mean she avoids relationships entirely. Instead, she enters them from a position of strength, connecting with others because she wants to, not because she needs to. Her independence is her way of affirming her self-value. It's about making her own decisions and being true to herself. In a society that often expects women to seek relationships and approval, she remains steadfast, showing that true freedom is about understanding who you are and fully accepting yourself without making any compromises. Number 8. Her identity isn't linked to her gender. A Sigma female moves beyond usual roles defined by gender. She doesn't see herself just as a woman or compare her actions to those of a man. Her identity isn't tied to being a female or male. She handles life's challenges by looking at what's sensible and effective, choosing paths that work best for her rather than following what society expects. This approach gives her a special kind of freedom. She isn't held back by typical rules about how women or men are supposed to act. Instead, she evaluates situations based on their own value, using her abilities and intuition freely, without gender influencing her decisions. Whether she's in charge of a project, solving a problem, or building relationships, her choices are based on being true to herself, not on sticking to specific roles. By stepping outside the usual gender expectations, she forges her own way. This flexibility in her identity allows her to try various behaviors and methods that fit her ambitions and principles. She adopts qualities sometimes seen as masculine or feminine, choosing whatever suits her needs at any moment. This challenges the usual limits placed on who she should be based on gender. Her identity is shaped by her skills, insights, and wishes, not by her gender. This way of living not only makes her life fuller, but also encourages others to think beyond the strict lines of gender norms. Number 9. She prefers to question rather than conform. The Sigma female has a unique ability to question what society expects of her instead of just following along. When faced with rules on how she should act or the decisions she should make, she prefers to think and analyze instead of agreeing without thought. This tendency to resist makes her stand out because she doesn't just accept rules that everyone else follows. She looks at situations carefully, deciding if these social norms really benefit her or fit with what she believes. This trait of challenging what's commonly accepted is often seen in alpha males, who are known for being bold and not giving in easily. However, the Sigma female also shows this brave, questioning attitude, using it confidently in her own life. Her knack for resisting societal norms opens the door for others to question them too. By boldly going against the usual ways, she motivates those around her to think deeply and explore other options besides the usual ones. She understands that real progress often requires questioning what's already believed, and that true strength comes from making choices based on one's own beliefs, not because of social pressure. This act of questioning rather than just following isn't just about being rebellious, it's about seeking what's genuine. For the Sigma female, living by her own rules is crucial, and she inspires others to find the bravery to do the same. In a society that usually praises fitting in, her challenge is a strong declaration of her independence and self-knowledge. Number 10. Her motivation to succeed is self-generated. A Sigma female's need to succeed comes from deep inside her. While many women might look for motivation from others, like in their relationships, community acceptance, or what people expect of them, she is different. Her drive comes from a deep and strong wish to prove something to herself. This inner guide pushes her forward, helping her stay focused on her goals with strong resolve. For her, being successful isn't about getting approval or praise from others. It's about growing as a person and meeting her own high standards. She sets tough goals not to show off to others, but to push herself and reach her full potential. This self-motivation gives her a strong sense of purpose in all she does. Her path is driven by an inner force that keeps her on track, even when things get tough. While criticism or lack of praise might discourage others, she stays firm. Her idea of success is personal, built on her own values and dreams, not on what society says. This inner strength helps her keep going, often achieving things that others might think are impossible. She doesn't look for others' approval. She aims for excellence and satisfaction. By doing this, she not only follows her own journey, but also inspires others, showing that real motivation is internal and that personal success is the best validation. Number 11. She is emotionally self-reliant. The Sigma female stands out because she manages her emotions all by herself. Instead of depending on friends or family to help her handle her feelings, she prefers to deal with them quietly, on her own. This way of managing emotions helps her stay independent and in control of how she feels. Some people might see her way of handling emotions as being distant, but it's not about pushing people away or hiding her feelings. She believes that her emotions are her own to manage. By facing her problems directly and sorting them out alone, she builds a strong inner strength and a clear understanding that earns the respect of others. Her ability to keep calm and composed is sometimes seen as a masculine trait. However, it's not about hiding her emotions. It's about handling them in a way that strengthens her. She knows when she needs help, but usually likes to solve her problems by herself, which boosts her confidence. This characteristic also helps her in relationships because she doesn't depend on others for emotional support. She connects with others from a position of strength, not desperation, leading to healthier and more respectful relationships. In a world where sharing feelings is often encouraged, her self-reliance might be misjudged. Yet, it's her capacity to manage her emotions internally that makes her resilient, stable, and completely authentic. Number 12. She forges her own path with determined independence. The Sigma female stands out due to her exceptional ability to steer her life according to her own compass, creating her path rather than following the one others might expect her to take. This characteristic, often viewed as a traditionally masculine trait, showcases her leadership qualities, not because she wants to defy societal norms intentionally, but because she is intrinsically motivated to be true to herself. Whether making career decisions, choosing how to spend her free time, or planning her future, she operates with a deep sense of personal integrity and assurance. Her decisions are not influenced by the crowd, but are the results of thoughtful consideration of her values, needs, and long-term objectives. This powerful autonomy allows her to navigate life with a boldness and authenticity that not only fulfills her own ambitions, but also often inspires those around her to think independently and courageously pursue their aspirations. Number 13. She embraces challenges with a resilient and pioneering spirit. The Sigma female does more than just face challenges. She actively seeks them out, embracing each new difficulty with a spirit of resilience and innovation. While some might be discouraged by setbacks or obstacles, she views each one as a vital opportunity for personal growth and a testament to her strength. This approach, often considered a more traditionally masculine way of handling adversity, involves tackling problems head-on, assessing them strategically, and finding the most effective solutions. Her mindset is not one of avoidance, but of engagement, pushing her limits and expanding her capabilities through each challenge she overcomes. This does not mean she is fearless or without doubts, but she has learned to use such feelings as catalysts for growth rather than reasons for retreat. Her proactive stance on life's challenges not only fortifies her own resolve, but also sets a powerful example for resilience and perseverance, demonstrating that true strength comes from confronting and mastering the trials we face. In summary, by observing the signs that a Sigma female displays more masculine features than might be apparent, we discover a distinct strength and toughness that is often overlooked. Her self-reliance, emotional independence, and readiness to question common norms demonstrate a robust personality that values being genuine over fitting in. She leads her life with a focus on doing and being practical, usually placing her personal development above seeking approval from others. This mixture of traits does not align simply with usual gender roles, and that is exactly what makes her intriguing. She follows her own path, motivated by a deep wish to excel and learn about herself. Her way of doing things may upset typical expectations, but it also encourages others to reconsider their views of what makes someone strong and successful. In essence, recognizing these qualities in a Sigma female sheds light on the intricate nature of identity beyond conventional gender categories. It's a message that real power comes from accepting your true self, no matter what the societal norms are. By acknowledging and embracing these traits, she can fully realize the richness of her personality and the distinct journey she undertakes, making a place where her uniqueness is clearly visible. Thank you everyone for joining us. Keep alert. See you in our next video, and as always, until next time.